Welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm so glad you're here with us. I'm Shane.
And I'm Erica. Today we're taking a deep dive into, well, the fascinating world of music, live performances, and those truly unexpected connections that can happen on stage. You know, the ones that turn a show into something, well, something much more profound.
That's right. Our mission for this particular deep dive is to really explore the why. Why does an artist connect so powerfully with their audience sometimes? And we've got a fantastic source to guide us, a blog post called A Night of Soulful Surprises, October London's Rebirth of Marvin Tour in Cleveland, written by our friend Kecia over at Kecia's Tour Life.
Yeah, Kecia's blog, for those of you who might not know it, is just this incredible resource. She blends music, road trips, travel experiences, food, just general fun, really. And her writing really captures the essence of being at a live event, you know, puts you right there. And this specific post, it offers some really exceptional insights into what elevates a concert from just, well, just an event to an unforgettable experience, especially when soul music is involved.
Absolutely. So, okay, this deep dive takes us to Cleveland, Ohio, February 24th, 2024. A night of pure soul.
The venue was the Agora Theater and Ballroom. It's this historic place, right? And Kecia noted it was completely transformed, became a space almost for these deeply soulful and heartwarming moments she talks about. It's interesting how the venue itself can kind of shape the whole vibe of a performance, isn't it?
Totally. And what's fascinating here is how Kecia talks about the emotional landscape of the night being set before the headliner even came out. She details the opening performances, and they weren't just filler, you know. They genuinely built the energy, the anticipation.
Exactly. First up was Dossie, a talented R&B singer, and a Cleveland native, too. Kecia admitted she'd actually never heard of her before this concert, which, you know, that's part of the joy of live music right there, discovering new talent.
Yeah, totally.
She was immediately impressed, though. Mentioned Dossie's soul-stirring vocals and really good original music, even kind of made a mental note to keep an ear out for her.
Right.
What stands out there, for me anyway, is that immediate connection an artist can make just through raw talent.
That really speaks to the power of that live introduction, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dossie clearly made an impact. Then came Jay Brown, another artist Kecia didn't know beforehand, which again just adds to that element of surprise you get at live shows sometimes. He performed covers, hits by Bobby Brown and New Edition. And Kecia said the audience was immediately singing along.
Which is smart, right? Tap that nostalgia.
Definitely a smart move for an opener. But here's where it gets really interesting, especially for this human connection idea we're exploring.
Yeah.
This is what Kecia really zeroed in on. Jay Brown had this totally unplanned, spontaneous moment.
Oh, yeah.
He picked out an older woman from the audience, invited her right up onto the stage, and they get this, serenaded her with his song, Beautiful.
Wow, just like that. That must have been incredible, not just for her, but for everyone watching. Kecia describes it evoking tears of surprise and emotion. She called it a moment of pure connection that resonated deeply with the audience and touched that woman's heart.
Wow. You know, when you read that, what do you think it is about those spontaneous moments, those unplanned things on stage? Why do they create such a visceral, almost tear-jerking connection? Is it the rawness, the surprise?
I think it's absolutely that breaking of the fourth wall, you know.
Yeah.
In a world where performances can be so polished, so choreographed, sometimes a bit distant,
Right.
an unscripted gesture like that just screams authenticity. It signals a genuine connection right there in the moment. It's unpredictable, it's vulnerable, and it kind of transforms the artist from this like celebrity figure into a real person capable of a heartfelt individual interaction.
Yeah, I see that.
And the audience, they become witnesses to this really intimate exchange. It almost feels like it happened to them too, in a way. It just deepens the empathy in the room, makes everyone feel more connected to each other and to the artist.
That makes so much sense. It shifts from being a performance for you to an experience with you.
Yeah.
And Kecia really points out how these openers weren't just killing time. They were actually integral to building the whole emotional arc of the evening, prepping the audience. And sometimes, like with Jay Brown, delivering these really unexpected moments of connection themselves.
Precisely. They set the tone. They built this kind of emotional runway for the main act. And the main act, of course, was October London on his Rebirth of Marvin tour.
Right. Kecia described him walking out suave and smooth, wearing black on black, just radiating that ready to deliver old school soul.
Hmm. And for those who might not know him, October London has really been making waves. His career's been fascinating to watch. His sound, it often gets compared to the legendary Marvin Gaye, right? Which is obviously where the Rebirth of Marvin tour name comes from.
Mm.
It's that deep kind of velvety voice and this classic R&B feel that really pulls people in. Gives them that nostalgic vibe but still feels fresh. And from the very first note of sensual conversations, leading right into You Look Better, Kecia says he just captivated the audience. Said he brought his album to life with no disappointment. It wasn't just singing the songs, it was like he was embodying that soul.
Right.
And what's so interesting about his appeal is how he manages that. He evokes that classic Motown era, that old school soul Kecia mentioned, but still feels incredibly relevant now. He's not just mimicking, he's like reinterpreting it, carrying the legacy forward.
And here's something really interesting Kecia shared with us, too. She actually got to meet October London before the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She said he was very cool, smooth, and nice. And this is his first headlining tour.
Wow, first headliner.
Yeah, so that adds another layer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
She said it's always cool to see an artist coming up like that and be able to say, I saw him right at the beginning.
That personal interaction, even if it was brief, must have colored her view of the whole show, you'd think.
And it wasn't just his musical delivery creating these connections either. The blog post shares two really, really heartwarming moments that Kecia said elevated the concert from just a show to an actual experience.
Okay, like what?
Well, the first was when October London brought out his youngest and biggest fan, an adorable 5-year-old girl.
A 5-year-old, wow.
Yeah, and apparently she knew every single word of his song, Mulholland Drive, like by heart.
No way.
He'd actually met her earlier at a meet and greet, saw her near the front during the show, and just invited her up to sing with him.
Oh, that's amazing. I can just picture that. The crowd must have loved it.
Totally. Kecia described seeing this little girl singing so confidently. She called it a testament to the universal appeal of October's music and the genuine connections it fosters.
Yes.
It really shows how his sound can just cut across generations, doesn't it?
Music connects with someone that young, a 5-year-old.
Mm.
It's got to be more than just a catchy tune, right?
Definitely.
Cool.
And the connections didn't stop there, apparently. Later in the show, October surprised everyone again. He brought out his own son to greet the crowd.
His son, too. Okay.
Yeah. Kecia noted his son was pretty shy, but the moment was met with just this outpouring of affection from the whole audience.
Oh, that's lovely. Embracing his son, declaring his love right there on stage. Kecia said it was this poignant reminder of the importance of family and the power of love to transcend boundaries.
Yeah.
That kind of unexpected, deeply personal moment, it deepens the connection even more, doesn't it?
It has to.
It's not just sharing a performance anymore. It's like he's sharing a piece of his actual life, showing vulnerability, real emotion. It makes the artist seem less like a performer and more like, well, like a fellow human, navigating family and love just like the rest of us.
It really is those unscripted moments, those vulnerable bits that often hit the hardest. They're not just part of the show. In a way, they are the show, just differently, more profound. Kecia wraps up her blog post saying the Rebirth of Marvin tour in Cleveland was genuinely more than just a concert.
Indeed. She called it a celebration of music's ability to unite, inspire, and uplift. And as October London closed the night with Back to Your Place, Kecia felt those echoes of love and joy just seemed to resonate way beyond the Agora Theater, like out into the city. It's a real testament to his ability not just to perform, but to create this whole atmosphere of shared feeling, this communal experience.
It really sounds like he's crafting an experience that transcends generations that know and appreciate soul. Building community, sharing these almost spiritual moments through music, kind of like the artists he's inspired by did,
This whole deep dive into Kecia's account, it really shines a light on how artists can create these profound, lasting connections. It's clearly not just about hitting the right notes or having the perfect stage setup. It's about sharing genuine moments, building that community feel through a shared experience, and even weaving in that personal vulnerability that lets the audience feel truly seen, truly understood.
Absolutely. It just reminds us, doesn't it, that the most impactful performances, the ones that really stick with you, often involve those unexpected, heartfelt interactions that make you feel like you're actually part of something bigger. It's when the artist steps beyond just performing and connects on a human level. That's what turns a night of music into like a memorable chapter in your life.
So for you listening, maybe take a moment to reflect. What stands out to you about how October London created such a memorable, connecting experience here? What is it about a live performance, those shared moments, at a crowded room, that transforms it from just a show into something truly moving, something that stays with you long after that final note fades away?
Yeah, think about your own most memorable concert moments. What made them special? Was it a particular song that just hit differently live? Was it an interaction you saw, or maybe were even part of? Or was it something else entirely, something that broke through the stage lights and connected right with your heart?
If you want to read more about Kecia's adventures in music, travel, and her take on other live events, you can check out her blog at keciastourlife.com.
And she's also active on social media. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search for Kecia's Tour Life. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into soul, connection, and the real magic of live music. Until next time, keep exploring.